The hyper-responsibility trap. How good people lose themselves by carrying too much. Some people don't break because they don't care. They break because they care too much. On the surface it looks like strength, reliability, loyalty, devotion. The person everyone turns to, the one who has it handled. But beneath that strength, there is often a quiet, invisible weight being carried. It looks like loyalty, it looks like commitment, it looks like kindness, and it looks like responsibility. You start taking responsibility for how others feel, for how they cope, for how their lives turn out, whether they're happy, stable, safe or okay. And at first this feels noble. So you tell yourself you're just being caring, just being supportive, just doing what needs to be done. But slowly, quietly, the weight increases and over time it becomes something else. This is the hyper-responsibility trap. A pattern where you begin carrying things that were never yours to hold. And it happens to good people, people with empathy, people with conscience, people who learned, often very early in life, that if they didn't step in, something bad might happen. So they stepped in. They became the fixer, the protector, the emotional stabilizer, the one who absorbs tension so others don't have to feel it. At some point, responsibility stopped being a choice and it became an identity. They don't just help, they feel responsible for outcomes that were never truly theirs. If someone is unhappy, they feel it's their fault. If something goes wrong, they believe they should have prevented it. If others are struggling, they carry it inside themselves. And slowly, silently, they disappear. Not because they're weak, but because caring became mixed with fear. Fear of guilt, fear of letting people down, fear that if they stopped holding everything together, everything will fall apart. So they keep going. They say, "I'm fine," while drowning inside. They feel guilty for resting. They carry resentment, then feel guilty for feeling it. They give and give and give until there is nothing left. And then one day, the body or the mind says, "I can't do this anymore." Burnout, anxiety, emotional numbness, panic, overwhelm, a deep, quiet sense of I don't know who I am outside of this responsibility. This isn't failure, it's overload. Hyper-responsibility isn't caring, it's caring without boundaries. And boundaries don't reduce care, they protect the person who cares. Caring doesn't mean carrying someone else's life on your shoulders. You can care without controlling. You can care without compensating. You can care without erasing yourself. When hyper-responsibility takes hold, something subtle happens. Healing begins the moment someone realizes the truth. Not everything is yours to carry. Other people's emotions are not your responsibility. Other people's healing is not your duty. Other people's happiness is not something you can control. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to receive. You are allowed to say no without guilt. You are valuable not because of what you fix, provide or carry, but because you exist. Balanced care sounds like, "Let's share this," or "Your needs matter too," or "We don't have to collapse for care and love to survive." The world doesn't need you broken by responsibility. It needs the whole you. And the moment you stop carrying what was never yours is the moment you begin to find yourself again. If this content spoke to you, there's more like this in my work, created for people who care deeply and quietly and carry too much. To explore, go to my shop at https://payhip.com/global happiness crusade.